Hey, y'all. I'm here. I'm here. All one of you. Uh, I almost didn't go live tonight. Almost. But said, well, I guess I should. Kind of just in a crappy mood tonight. But I'll get over it. How y'all been? It's been a week since the last time we talked. Ain't a whole lot changed. Paul's been here since like Wednesday, I guess. He stayed most of the week here because we had the big game here this weekend with Ole Miss. So he came down here to drive this weekend. I've worked and worked and worked and worked, and it doesn't look like I'm going to finish my route out this month again, second month in a row. And I don't think the boss is going to be happy about it, but I think tomorrow when I go into work, I'm going to have a few choice words for him as well. And so either way, I may not have a job when tomorrow's over with. Or, well, I may delay it till the end of the month, or I'm going to have a word with him tomorrow and end it then. I don't know. I can't quit, but he's going to have to fire me. But he probably will after I say the things I need to say. I kind of have to look at this job as I've been faking it till I make it. And I'm just not cut out for the level of commitment this job requires. I ain't married to a person in real life for a reason. I refuse to be married to a damn job. But this job kind of requires you to be married to it in order to be successful at it. And it's just not my cup of tea. I don't plan on ever being married to my job. When I get off of work, I should reasonably expect that when I get home from work, I should be able to be home from work and not having to do more work. And then on top of that, receiving texts from the boss telling me how bad of a job I'm not doing when I'm not at work. Hi, Tanya. I'm doing good. Sorry, I'm going to rant this evening because I just need to rant. I need somebody to rant to. I need somebody to listen. And I'm just, yeah. I've pretty much destroyed all of the objects I have around that are meant for destruction when you're angry. Nothing valuable, nothing important. Just, like foam rollers off of diamond paintings that I've just beat against the wall until they've broken. I mean, just everything. Yeah. It just kind of pisses me off that they want me to schedule my own route. And then they want to remind me every day how many I have left to schedule for the month and how I can't miss any of this month. Can't skips, but no skips. But then they let somebody else in the office schedule shit on my damn route without looking at what I have left to schedule. And they put it in the weirdest possible times to where I can't schedule the other stuff that I need to schedule because that stuff's an hour drive away from town and I need a whole day to be able to do that. No. So they find the one open day that I have left that I'm saving for the stuff that I have outside of town, and they put something right in the middle of that day, not the beginning, not at the very end where I can work with it. No, right in the damn middle of it. So it just took a whole day away from me that I can't do what I need to do, and everything that I have left to schedule is outside of town. Ugh. And then they want to get mad when I don't have my entire route scheduled. Well, stay the hell out of my damn route. Too many damn hands stirring the pot. Sorry, but I need to find another job making close to what I'm making now so I can get the hell away from here before, the stress is going to kill me at this job. It really is. On top of that, my boss is ex-military and he's a micromanager, and I hate being micromanaged. If there's one thing in the world I hate, it's being micromanaged. Let me do my job. Let me get it done my way. Stay the hell out of it and watch me work. That's all I ask. No. You got to be looking through the numbers and telling me every day how many I got left and get on it ASAP. How come you didn't spend more time scheduling last night when you got home from work? Because I'm home from work. I shouldn't be expected to work after I get done with work. I've never had a job where I go out and work 10 hours a day, 9.5 hours a day. And then I come home and I'm expected to work another 2-3 hours. I mean, yes, they've let me clock in hourly for those hours I come home and work at home. I'm allowed to clock in hourly, but still, it's the fact that I've already put in 9.5 hours today. I've done my job. I've run all over the place. I've sprayed people's houses. I've dealt with roaches and bed bugs and all the nastiest freaking creepy crawlies you can imagine. Crawling all over me, raining off the ceiling on me. Yes, I had roaches raining off the ceiling on me this week. That was a disgusting house. I deal with that all day long. What I want to do is just come home, sit my butt in my chair, play Call of Duty or whatever, and just be left alone for a while. Yeah, that was gross, streamer. Oh, it was disgusting. It was an apartment complex. It's like the most ghetto apartment complex in town, right? And I swear, if it was me and I owned the place, I would move everybody out of there and I would burn it to the ground and start all over, because every apartment in there's got roaches. Every single apartment. It's like 9 buildings. Every one of them, all eight apartments in all 9 buildings have roaches, and to some degree or another. Some aren't so bad and they don't complain about them, so I don't ever have to go in there. But some of them are really bad. And this one, they had just moved out and the apartment was vacant. And they said, there might be some roaches in there. I'm like, well, I already know there's roaches, and there's roaches in every apartment. But how bad is it? Oh, it can't be that bad. I walked in the door and they were falling off the ceiling. They were crawling up the walls and all over the floors. And the fridge, they were just like piled behind the fridge on the wall. And oh, it's disgusting. So I went and made up a gallon of the strongest stuff I got. I put it on fan spray and I walked around and I just painted the whole house with pesticide. Countertops, stoves, sinks, refrigerator, cabinets inside and out, ceilings, walls, carpets, floors, everything. I just spray painted it with pesticide. Well, if they're not really bad, Dreamer, and it's just a small infestation in the kitchen, all I got to do is go in the cabinets. I've got this stuff that's in a syringe. It looks like peanut butter in a syringe. And I put little dots of that every 12 inches around the inside of the cabinets, on the corners, and then do the same thing at the top of the countertops and around the back of the fridge on the base trim and stuff like that. And that kills them all off, and it does a pretty good job. But when they're that widespread throughout the whole house that they're falling off the ceilings throughout the house and they're climbing on the walls, every single room and every closet, you got to go to extreme measures then. No, they moved out because they couldn't pay the rent. They were evicted. Like I said, there's 72 apartments in that complex, and every single one of them got roaches to one degree or another. The last bed bug job I did in that apartment complex. I mean, it's nasty. But that's what I deal with, like 9 hours every day. And then I'm expected to come home and spend 2-3 hours on the phone calling customers to get them lined up for the next few days. And it's just like, when does my job end? When does my life begin? And so I did some scheduling today. I scheduled like 3 stops in like 2.5 hours because nobody wants to answer the phone. And I leave a voicemail and nobody wants to return my call. I even tell them in the voicemail, you can call or text me. I don't care. Just call me, text me so I can get your ass on my fucking schedule so I can come to your fucking house, spray your goddamn roaches, and be done with it for the month. No, they don't want to answer the phone. So then that means I got to go to their house this week and I got to do an outside only treatment. Then they're going to call the company bitching that I came out and did an outside only treatment. And then the company's going to add a callback on me, which is going to take up one more spot that I got to do that's going to take away from the stops that I need to get done for the month. Because then the company's going to say, okay, Dave's going to come back out and spray the inside for you at your convenience, at your leisure, at your time that you want it done. And they're going to throw it in my schedule. And then that's one more stop. That's one more slot filled up on my schedule that I can't put something that I need to get done on. And then they want to bitch and moan when I don't get my schedule done for the month. Well, quit adding shit to it. Trust me, you do not want to get into pest control because from what I understand, this is the way every company works. So yeah, I didn't really feel like going live tonight. I really didn't. I'm just in a hell of a mood tonight. And I think Arya's going back into heat again. Aren't you, Arya? Huh? You going into heat again? Huh? Yeah? Hi, baby. It is. I mean, granted, the money is good. That's the only reason I'm really trying my hardest to stick with it and fake it till I make it, because eventually I will make it. It's the scheduling part I have a hard time with. I mean, you hand me a list of stuff that needs to get done for the day. You hand me a list of 12 stops, I'll go do them. I'll be there. And I'll get them done, and I'll go home at the end of the night. But then, I'm not good at organizing a schedule. I'm not good at looking at all of these days and all of these people and trying to figure out who goes where and where goes who and how am I going to go to this place because that's an hour away. So I got to have the time to go drive up there and drive back. So I can't schedule anything during these hours. So then when I don't schedule anything during that hour of drive time, they throw something in there for me. And then it kind of throws off my whole schedule. And it's just like, I can't win for losing. I really feel like I can't win for losing. I feel like they're setting us up for failure in a way. Hi, Ashley. Hello, Dreamer. Hello, Tanya. I got to say hi to everybody. I'm sorry. I'm too busy ranting over here. So that's why I've been playing Call of Duty, because you know what? Killing people in that game really is a good way to take out aggressions. Maybe that's why in the past 2 weeks that I've been playing it, I've gotten so damn good at it. Because hello, what was that? Oh, you dropped something off the desk onto that. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing in the world that's better for your aggressions and your stress than playing Call of Duty. I'm going to tell you now. Dropping in from the retreat. Yeah. I signed up for the Great Lakes Escape, and I didn't get picked. So I'm on the wait list, but I still don't think I'm going to be able to go. I'm going to have to tell her. Oh, I know my son. Yeah, is that any fun? Having fun? You enjoying yourself? Tell them all I said hi. Hmm. Okay. Cool. One of these years, I'm going to make it to a retreat. I don't know when, but I will. Can't really afford it. I really cannot afford the Great Lakes Escape this year. I really can't. And especially if things go the way I think they're going to go with this job, I know I won't be able to. I better start looking for something else really quick, which sucks because I just got, man, I got insurance with this job and I need to go to a doctor. I need to get stuff done. And I'm making good money. I don't know what to do, y'all. As much as I want to tell this job to kiss my ass, I don't want to start over again with a new job and then have to wait for insurance and wait for this and wait for that. Oh, and then I have to worry about, am I going to make enough money at a new job? And how long is it till I get my first paycheck? So how long will I be broke? And how far behind will I get on everything again? I'm finally caught up on all my bills. I'm actually ahead on my rent a little bit, not much, $10, but $10 is $10. You know, I've got a good schedule for my rent. I don't even have to spend a huge amount of my paycheck each paycheck on rent. So my other bills are all paid. Everything is looking good for once finally. And I just feel like me and this job aren't going to get along real well. I think so at the end of the month, Dreamer. Like if I have any skips, which I'm going to have a lot of them again this month because there's just no way I could get everything scheduled. What happens is this, okay? At the beginning of the month, they tell you you have this many stops to do by the end of the month. Okay. That's just the ones that are due. That's all of the services that are due that month in their recurring cycle, every 3 months, every month, whatever. Those are all the stops that I have to do for that month. Okay, then what happens is last month I had a bunch that they wouldn't answer the phone or whatever. So I went and did an outside only at their house, which that is enough to cover them for the next 3 months. They don't need me to come spray the inside of the house. They don't know that. They think they do, but they don't need me to come spray the inside of the house. Our service, the way it works, is the outside spray is what does all the work. The inside is just an inspection to make sure what we're doing on the outside is working. So they call in and say, well, he didn't come do the inside. I need the inside done. No, you don't. But the company won't explain that to them or won't educate them. They leave that up to me as well. So they put a callback on my schedule. Well, now a callback I don't get paid anything for, but I've still got to go out and do it because the customer called back. Which now that's a stop that goes on my schedule that's taking up a slot somewhere that I can't use for stuff that actually needs to get done this month. That counts towards my however many I had at the beginning of the month that I had to do. And then what happens is other customers call in and start new service. Well, then what they do is they look at where that call is at. Is it in this area of town? Is it in this town? Is it over here? Is it over where? Oh, okay, Dave normally goes over there. Okay, we're going to stick it on Dave. And they just assign it to me and put a time on it already. They schedule with the customer at the time of sale. I don't have a choice in what time that goes on my schedule. And I have to go do that one because that's an initial. So now that adds to the number that I have to get done for the month. And it's something else taking up a slot that keeps me from getting the stuff done that I started the month with. So then you get down to the end of the month and you look at it and you, well, they tell you, okay, well, you'll have to average like 9 a day to finish out your schedule this month. Okay. So, every day I'm scheduling 9, I'm scheduling 10, But then what happens is 2 of them are callbacks and 1 of them is initial. So now none of those count towards what I started at the beginning of the month with. So then at the end of the week, he comes to me and says, well, you haven't gotten 25% done at the end of the first week. You got to work Saturday. Well, I've done the 9 a day you told me I needed to do, but only 6 of those a day counted towards the numbers that they go by. So I'm stuck because I didn't actually finish 25% of the ones I started the month with. Same thing happens with the second week. Oh, at the end of the second week, you're not at 50% of your route. We need you to work Saturday. And then at the end of the month, I'm still not finished with my whole route because I've had so much shit added on to me all week. And then what they do is customers call in and want to get scheduled. The girls in the office can't see. The only thing they can see on any given day are the ones that I actually have scheduled and have a time attached to. So if I move something to a day, but I'm still waiting to hear back from the customer on what time they want to get done that day, say I want to do all of my Greensboro customers on a Thursday. Okay. So 2 of them I've already responded and I put a time to them and I've scheduled them for whatever time they wanted that Thursday. Okay. So then I've moved all the other Greensboro customers that I can do that day over to that day, but I didn't put a time on them. So then what happens is the girls look at the schedule. The only thing they can see on that Thursday are the 2 that I have scheduled already. They can't see the other ones that I've moved over there that I haven't put a time onto yet. And so they just start scheduling shit on that Thursday wherever they can find an open slot, whether it be in that town that I want to be in or whether it be in another town. And then what they've done is messed my whole schedule up. And then they want to say, well, why didn't you get these done? Well, because you added this stuff on my schedule. Well, you need to put a time on all of them if you move them there. Well, how am I going to put a time on them when the customer has not gotten back to me yet with a time? Y'all need to look at this. Look deeper. Don't just look at the surface. Look deeper. You know? Shit. Do your fucking job better. I'm trying to do mine the best I can. Hey, Odd. How you doing? No, they don't expect the girls to. That's not their job. Their job is not to dig into my schedule to see what I have moved around. Their job is just to look at what's already scheduled and schedule based on that. I mean, I get it, but I've told them time and again, if a customer wants to get scheduled, email it to me, text it to me, fucking send it to me in Teams. I don't care, but tell me the customer wants to get scheduled. I will call them. I will put them in where I can fit them in, you know, where I know I have space and where it's not going to mess my schedule up. That's all I ask. Can't even do that. No, they got to schedule a customer right there on the phone. I guess that's better customer service. I don't know. I mean, if you were to call into a place and say, hey, I'd like to schedule my pest control, would you be pissed off if the person said, well, you know, that's Dave's route. I'm going to send it to Dave. He'll be giving you a call later on today, and he'll get you put on his schedule. Would you be pissed off about that? That you had to wait for me to call you back later on in the day? I don't know. I don't think that would be too much to ask. But see, they think that's too much on the customer. It's just like I got a stern talking to one time because a customer asked me a question about something I could not get the answer to, that I didn't know the answer to. It was more of an administrative question that was better suited for the people in the office to have access to those files and those records, those kind of things. And so I told the customer, you're going to have to call the office. I got a stern talking to for that. You are supposed to call the office yourself and find out the answer and tell the customer, instead of making the customer make a second phone call. So well, supposedly I'm supposed to do it while I'm there with the customer. If they have a question that's something I can't answer and they need the office to, I'm supposed to call the office while I'm there with the customer. And that way I can relay the questions back and forth, which I still think that's more tacky than saying, hey, can you go, can you call the office? when I leave, whatever, you can call them and they can help you through all of that. To me, that's the better option. If you ask me, it seems kind of tacky to have me call the office and sit there and try to talk to the office and you and office and you and office and you back and forth over the phone. Hi, Terry. So, yeah, Linda, to answer your question, um, at the end of the month, if I have a ton of skips, because it's happened before and I've already been wrote up for it once for having a lot of skips, at the end of the month, if I have a lot of skips, I probably will get wrote up again, which probably means I'm getting fired. So I'm kind of expecting it. And with the way the schedule looks right now, I cannot add in anything that takes me to the town that I need to go to, because that town is an hour drive away. And what they've done is there's like one day there where they actually only have one thing scheduled that day. But the problem is it's like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which means I would have to leave early, like really early in the morning, to go down to Greensboro, get 2 or 3 houses sprayed down there, then drive an hour back to Tuscaloosa to do one stop, and then drive an hour back at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which means I don't get down there till 2, then maybe do 2 or 3 more houses down in Greensboro, and then drive an hour back all the way home at the end of my day. And, that doesn't make any damn sense. Doesn't help the customer. The company's not making any money off of that, because any profit they made off me going down to spray is ate up in drive time, in gas. I have thought about it. I just haven't had a chance to, because I don't know. I don't know if I want to stay in pest control. I like the money I'm making. Again, I love the money I'm making, and I don't know if another company will pay the same way this one is, but I love the money I'm making. It averages out. Well, yeah, it averages out to about 22 to 25 an hour, depending from one paycheck to the next, because mine's all commission based. It's commission based off of the production I do and sales that I make. So I get a 26% commission of every service that I do, and a 15% commission off every sale that I make. And then I double dip if I make a sale and do the service, because then I get 15% of the sale and 25% of the total service amount. So say I sell a bed bug job for $3,500, I get 15% of that $3,500 for the sale, and then I go do the job and I get 26% of the $3,500 for doing the service. So it's like, the money is good. And the way I have my finances set up now, I've kind of based my finances off the size of the paychecks that I'm getting right now. So if I get lower pay, I'm not going to be able to keep my finances up the way I have them set up now. And I'm not sure how I would change them to make a lower paycheck fit them. And I don't know if I have time to find another job and put in a 2 weeks notice and start the other job and get money before my paychecks from this job run out, and I end up skipping a month without pay. And then I'm really screwed, because then I'm behind again. It's going to take me another 3-4 months to get back to where I'm at now. That's what I'm scared of. I'm scared of the getting behind and being without food, and being without cat food, and being without everything I need, which is where I was for a good month or two after I started this job. And I finally got everything caught up 2 months ago, and it's been great. No more stress on the financial part of it. Now all the stress is the job. So I've got that part settled, and I like having my finances straight. I want to keep it that way. But as it stands right now, if I miss a paycheck, it's catastrophic because I don't have anything ahead. So that's what scares me, and that's why I'm fighting my ass off to try to do what I need to do for this job so that I can keep it. Maybe at some point after a while, it'll all come to me and it'll just become second nature and it'll be easy to work with. But until I can get my ass to a doctor and get put on some kind of ADHD meds, the scheduling part is not going to work out well. And I have found that the most common ADHD med that most people get put on works really well for me. Because I had a friend share some and it worked. And I really could stand to be on it. I'm almost to a point where they sell some at the gas station called Durall. It's like fake Adderall. I'm almost at the point of going and buying a bunch of that just to have it and use it until I can get to a doctor and get the real stuff. Oh, man, my Discord's going nuts. I've got the the uh, clan that I'm in for Call of Duty. We have a Discord, and they are busy on there 24/7. There are things, and I don't know how to log out of Discord. Isn't that bad? I don't even know how to log out of Discord. Um, oh, there's an update ready. That's not helping me any. Now to hell with it. I just let it keep ba-doom, 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 ba-doom in the background. Problem is the notification box for Discord pops up right at the bottom of the chat. So that's like it blocks out the bottom two lines on chat. Oh, all right. Where was I at on this thing? I don't even know if I can concentrate enough to work on this thing. You can see my brain is all over the place tonight. I'm having a really bad ADD day too, on top of that. So, yeah, I can make an appointment, but then I got to take a day off of work, and I can't afford to take a day off of work because if I miss one day, I end up not being able to finish my route out. Like last month when I went on my hike for August for my birthday, I took 2 days off. Guess how many stops I got? And I had skips at the end of the month. Enough to fill 2 days. Because the whole time I was gone, what were they doing? They were still adding stuff onto my schedule while I was gone. So when I had more to do when I left, more to do when I got back than I did when I left. Hi, Diane. They shipped your custom out from Every Moment yet? Yeah, I'm gonna have to. The problem is, I found out that if you go to the doctor before they'll put you on Adderall, you got to like jump through millions of hoops just to be able to get it. It's not like, you know, it's not like you go in and tell the doctor, look, man, I've got ADD. This is happening. That's happening. I need something to fix it. Nope. They will put you through drug tests and all kinds of screenings and everything else before they'll prescribe you Adderall. because they want to make sure you're not just a drug seeker trying to get Adderall, because basically Adderall is just, it's amphetamines. It's, you know, it's like legal meth. Actually, I think it's like legal. It's like legal cocaine, I think is what it is. Oh, cool. It's not too far out then. Yeah, every moment's pretty quick. Okay, what color did I do last time I was out here? What color did I do? I can't remember. Did I do the Fs? I think I did the Fs. I don't see any Fs on the thing. And I don't see any and signs, but I'm not in an area that has that color. Yeah, I am actually. I guess I'm not. Hi, Hank. Do I have any up triangles? Yes, I do have up triangles. Hi, Hank. Are you coming to see me? Or are you just coming to get in the way? You're just coming to get in the way. Okay. Hi. Yeah, it's a kitty. It's a kitty cat. It's a kitty cat. It's a Hank. It's a Hank. Yes, it is. It's a Hank. It's a Hank. Yes, it is. Yeah, he tries to stay away from that now. Well, no, now he's stepping right in it. Hank, buddy, what are you doing? Hi. This week, Hank has been quite the beehole to Aria. And I don't know why. But he's been a little butt. For no reason, just attacking her for no reason. Like, out of nowhere. And last time Paul was here, like 2 weeks ago, when we were cleaning the house, for whatever reason, you know, normally when she's in heat, Hank will try once or twice to like mount her, and he kind of acts like he doesn't know what he's doing, like he's doing it all wrong. And but 2 weeks ago, she wasn't in heat. She hadn't just come out of heat. Nothing. All of a sudden, he jumped on her, pounced on her, and mounted her like he knew what he was doing, and he was getting what he wanted, and he was taking it from her. And she didn't like it none. And I don't know why he's all of a sudden doing that, because that's not what Hank does. Yeah. And then on top of that, out of nowhere, he'll just all of a sudden start attacking her, like just physically trying to hurt her. Well, I guess he's just establishing dominance, but why now, of all times? It's like he never did before. Maybe he just got tired of being bullied by her, I guess. Mr. Hank. Mr. Hank. But Arya has also become a lot sweeter and more loving towards me. And I think he's sensing that she's trying to like take his time away from him, which is possible. Oh, is it cleaning time? Hmm? Is it Hank cleaning time? You need a bath? You need me to go put you in the bath? No? Okay. You wouldn't like that anyway. I know better. Giving Hank a bath usually ends up resulting in surgery. Unwanted surgery. Performed by Hank. Ain't that right, buddy? You got me really good the last time I tried to give you a bath when you had the bugs. Yep. He's like, yeah, but I got the bugs because you brought them home. I didn't want them. And then you got to put me in a bathtub because of something that you did. That's the other hazard of being in pest control is you have the opportunity to bring home all kinds of infesting pests. That day that I had the roaches falling off the ceiling, when I left that house, I had 6 of them crawling up my pant leg that I had to brush off before I got back in the truck. And I always wear a pair of Under Armour leggings underneath my pants when I'm at work, so that in the weird case that I do end up going into a house like that, which is quite often, I can take my pants off on the front porch before I come in the house. And that way I don't bring them in. Now, the shirt is a different story. Now, if Paul's here, I'll text him and say, hey, Paul, can you put one of my shirts out on the front for me so I can change on the way in before I come in the house? And normally he will, but that's if he's here. He's not here, Usually it's just weekends when he's here, though. But I brought fleas home that way. I brought some roaches home that way, which I got rid of really quick. And luckily, I have not brought bed bugs home that way. But I'm pretty sure it's just a matter of time. It's one thing I've learned about people is I am amazed at how nasty people can be. Like, how do you live like that? I mean, granted, my house gets cluttered. Not dirty like that, though. Oh, I couldn't live with myself if my house is like that. Clutter I can deal with. I'll always be a cluttery person. That's just my nature. I mean, the worst of my house is the dishes. Like, there'll be times where I don't do dishes for a while. But mostly I try to find foods that I can eat that doesn't require me to use dishes. Or if I have the availability, I can buy paper plates. And I can just throw my dishes away when I'm done with them. And I forgot how perfectly these drills fit together on this painting. Hank. What are you doing, buddy? I'm going to have to go back through and find all the missing drills, like here. There's a couple missing right there. A couple of them there. One over here. There's a couple over here by Hank's paw. I'm going to have to find all of those and fix them. But I'll just save that for the end. They weren't popping drills. They're just from all of the, I mean, I've had this thing. I started it, 2019 sometime. So it survived a move from North Dakota. It survived being brought in and out of the closet down here countless amount of times. So to have a few missing drills, I'd almost kind of expected. I'd be really surprised if there weren't any. That would be a big surprise. Excuse me, Hank. He's just going to sit right here. I'm just going to sit right there and be in the way, kind of. Aren't you? Huh? Hmm? People just sit here and let me do this. He don't care. No. Do I get Hank kisses, huh? I get Hank licks? Okay. Oh. Gotta clean the paws off. I mean, look how close they got the colors, though. I mean, look, see the color of Hank and the color of this? They got the colors pretty close. It's a, what? He's using his paw and reaching up and touching my face now. What do you want, buddy? What do you want? Just received the Diamond Art Club, the 2-placer. It's tiny. Oh yeah. I've got I bought this set. They're like the gold medal set off of AliExpress, I think. Well, this one here, yeah, that's part of the gold medal set as well. That's the single placer that goes with it. And then that's the 4-placer. But I've got the entire set. And yeah, there's a 3-placer, and that's a single placer for squares. If you look at the top of it, it's got a square hole in the single placer. It's a single placer for squares. Somewhere in here I've got a 2-placer, unless I'm missing it somewhere. I hope I'm not missing it. I guess I am. Uh-oh. I am missing my 2-placer. I don't know where it went. That's not good. What was that, Hank? The neighbors upstairs dropped something. But yeah, I've got the whole set, and they're kind of all on different pins. Oh no, there it is. It's in that pin. There it is. No, that's a 3. Wait, okay. I am missing my 2-placer from that set. I don't know where it went. Okay. Well then. It's okay. I never use a 2-placer anyway. So when I multi-place, normally I always use a 4. I don't go much higher than a 4. Just because I don't like placing drills down and then having to sit there for another 5 minutes trying to straighten all of them out. 4, I can keep relatively straight without. And if I need to do 2, then I just take the 4-placer and I pick up 2 of them. Yeah, that 2-placer's around here somewhere because I was using it. Like I had a 1 and a 2 on one pen, and then the next pen I had a 3 and a 4. The next pen I had a 5 and a 6, and the next pen I had a 7 and an 8, and then a 9 and a 10, and then I had the straight straightener, and then I had an angled straightener that's like it's over here. Yeah, let's just pull all the pins out. Look out, Hank. Yep. There it is. An angled straightener. So it's like you put it in your pen like this, and then you can straighten at an angle. But it doesn't stay in any of my pens very well. And there's my, I think I got that one from Redneck Beauty or Patriotic Beauty back when she was selling them. I think that's where that one came from, that 4-placer. But it also could have come from the place that originally started making 4-placers. I can't remember the name of it. But I think I got my 4-placer from her. Then I got this pen out of off of Temu. Not exactly my thing, but it's an interesting little pen. So I wonder if the ones you buy from AliExpress, I wonder if those are actually turned or are they molded resin? Because it wouldn't be hard for somebody in China to buy a diamond painting pen from a turner here in the U.S. and then create a resin mold. So I have to wonder that. I've always wondered, is the ones on AliExpress and all that are mass produced, if they're actually just molded and they just drill the hole on the ends for the tips to be put in. We will never know. And I would still love to take a square of the kit wax and take it to the chemistry department here at the university and have them test it and tell me what it's made of. I also wonder because remember, like at one time they were like recalling toys a lot because the toys were made in China and they had a really high lead content, like McDonald's Happy Meal toys and stuff like that. And they started finding out that a lot of the stuff made in China has a really high lead content. I wonder about that wax. And I wonder about these resin drills as well. Be interesting to see. He ain't paying no attention to the vape on the thing. He's busy trying to rub his face on my hat. That's one of his favorite things to do, is rub his face on my hat. I have a lot of customers that have dogs, and I'll go to their house, and the dog will just be happy to see me and follow me around the house and want me to play and pet it and everything else. And they'll tell me, this dog never does that with strangers, ever. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, he knows I'm not here to hurt him. And he knows I'm not here to hurt you. I'm just here to kill the bugs. Excuse me, Hank. Excuse me. What? Excuse me. You're kind of in the way. Why what, Dreamer? Yes, Hank is in the picture tonight. Hank is... He's hanking it right up tonight. Where's Arya? Oh, she's laying down there under the... Arya! Hey. She's sleeping on the bottom of the cat tree, which reminds me, when I get done with my live tonight, I need to move the cat tree. I'm going to move it like, okay. Right now, it's... You see right here, this big open spot right here? I think I'm going to put it right there because right now it's sitting... Oh, there you all are. You can kind of see it behind my Ravens jersey there, behind that light thing on the wall. You can kind of see the cat tree there. Well, down at the bottom where Arya's laying, right behind that is the plug that my internet is plugged into on the wall. The problem is the plug itself is so loose that the plug is like really super loose. Hello, y'all. That the cats will get under there and they'll knock it. They'll just touch it and it'll cut my internet off. And that happens in the middle of me playing Call of Duty or in the middle of watching YouTube or whatever. They knock the little plug and it knocks it. I've got it duct taped into the wall, but it's still not enough to keep it from getting moved. So I'm thinking I'm going to move the cat tree over against this wall behind me, move that painting that's there over where the cat tree used to be on that wall is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. That way they're not knocking my plug out. And then I'm going to have to get back there and rearrange all my plugs and find a space for that one in like a 6-way or something so that it's not constantly falling out. Yeah, that's what I thought too, Dreamer. I need to, I've got another plug down here behind my computer that's empty right now. I could probably move the modem from over there to over there and plug in over there too. But that cat tree, they don't want to really get on it anymore up there where it's at. And I think it's just because of where it's at, I think if it was back here behind me, where they had a better view of the room and everything, they would get on it more often and spend more time there on it. So I think that's where I'm going to put it. So I think when I get done with my live, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll play Call of Duty until 4 o'clock in the morning, like I always do. I fell asleep last night sitting. My son's the one that got me into Call of Duty. I hated Call of Duty. Like, I freaking hated it. I dated this girl in North Dakota, had a 10-year-old son, right? And he would always beg me, Dave, come in and play Call of Duty with us. Dave, come and play Call of Duty with me. Well, that's all he did. When he got home from school, he ran into the bedroom, he turned it on, he played Call of Duty until it was bedtime, and his mom made him get off the game. And then he would wait until we were asleep, and he'd wake up and sneak and start playing Call of Duty all night long, too. And so on like a Saturday or whatever, I'd be home. He'd be like, Dave, come and play with me. Come and play Call of Duty. And I didn't really want to because I just hated the game. I wasn't any good at it. There's too many buttons to remember, all that kind of stuff. And I just didn't have the eye-hand coordination. I had just not developed it for that game yet, is what had happened. And I'd finally go in there and go sit down and play with him. And we'd play one match, and the boy would be like, he'd set up a custom match, just me and him in there against each other. And then he would hand my ass to me. Just constantly. No matter where I went, I could hide in a corner somewhere. He'd come in and know where I was at. I'd be like, boom, I'm dead. Boom, I'm dead. Boom, I'm dead. Boom, I'm dead. It just got to be no fun. And then afterwards, he'd talk mad shit at me about like how bad I am at the game. And I'm like, well, no shit. I don't play it. And that's why I kind of just hated the game. And then my son kept bugging me. Dad, you need to get Call of Duty. Dad, you need to get it. You need to come play with us. You know, you're doing the website for the clan. You should play it with us. And I'm like, but I'm no good. He's like, no, don't worry. We'll make you good. You know, we'll get you in the clan. You'll be good. I'm good. I'm not as good as they are yet, but I'm good. Today I had my first match where I had more than 40 kills. So I'm getting there. Oh, that's the problem. I don't have a window. If you take a look here, Diane, I'll show you. Tour of the room, okay? This is behind me. That's the kitchen right there. This wall over here, you can see there's no window because there's another apartment on the other side of that wall there. And that's where my other desk is that I do my models and stuff on. And then, of course, I got the desk that I'm sitting at here that's facing the TV. So now if I take the camera and move it around this way, that's the hallway. The closed door is the spare bedroom that Paul stays in. The open one is the bathroom. And then across the hall from the closed door is my bedroom that's behind that wall over there. Now that wall over there is just my bedroom wall and the closet. That's my craft closet. That's all my diamond paintings, all my crafting stuff. Then I got my guitar there. And then you come around to this wall and there's the TV. And behind that TV is the only window in the room, and the TV takes up the entire window. It's a 65-inch TV. And that's really the only place I can put all of that, because the 65-inch TV, even though the cable connection is over there by the guitar, you can see it like right there. Okay. That wall there is the only space I can put that TV on, but it's kind of offset from the center of the room. So it'd be like sitting over on that side, and then the door would open, and when that door opens, it would hit where that Alabama flag is, and that's where the TV would be. And it's got a door stopper there, but then the problem is I have, the TV stand right there that would be sitting over towards where the door opens, and it keep hitting the TV stand. So I can't put the TV on that wall, even though that would be the most logical place for it because of where the cable input is. So I had to run the cable input out of there, and then I had to run it up and over the door and then down the wall to where it goes into the white thing behind the Windex bottle there. The big white box behind the speaker is the cable modem, the gateway. It's not that big. It's only a 900 square foot apartment. I mean, it's a tiny little living room. The kitchen is almost as big as the living room. That's the biggest part of the house, the kitchen. The master bedroom is actually a pretty decent size, the one that I stay in. Now, the one that Paul stays in when he's there, he's got a queen size air mattress, and it takes up a big chunk of the room. But my room, we had a queen size bed, and there's still tons of room left in my room. There's a queen size bed. There's a long dresser and a nightstand to match the dresser. The nightstand's on my side of the bed, and then the big dresser's on the opposite wall from the wall you walk into. And it takes up the space between the corner and the window, because the window is kind of in the corner of the room. But there's so much walking space between the other side of the bed and that dresser. Like, I could sit down and stretch my feet out straight in front of me and sit with my back straight up against the wall and not touch that dresser. So, I mean, they're decent sized rooms, but overall, it's kind of still a small apartment. My living room in my apartment in North Dakota was much bigger than this. Now, no, I take that back. Okay. My living room in the 1-bedroom apartment I was in North Dakota, my 1-bedroom apartment that I had in North Dakota would fit almost in this living room. It was that small. It was tiny. And then I moved upstairs to the 2-bedroom in apartment 11, and it was about the same size as this, but my living room was huge. My living room there was as big as my living room and kitchen here. My kitchen there was like the width of a hallway, and it was tiny. And then we had 2 nice sized bedrooms. I mean, the queen size bed in the bedroom there barely left you any walking space between the side of the bed and the dresser. It's like you had to almost walk sideways between the two, and that was the master bedroom. So it was a lot smaller than this as far as the bedrooms are concerned, but the living room was huge. But yeah, it's not a bad place. I like my apartment like it is. And I kind of wish I had bigger. I'd love to get a house. I would love, 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 love to just buy a house and have one. And for what I'm paying for this apartment, I'm paying $894 a month, almost $900 a month for this apartment. I mean, it was less than that when I moved in. It was $795 a month when I moved in here 3 years ago, and it's gone up to $894. So it's gone up $100 since I moved in here 3 years ago. But for what I'm paying a month for rent here, I could probably be buying a house. The only thing I don't have is I don't have the down payment for a house. I don't have $10,000 for a down payment for a house. So I can't cover closing costs. So there's no way I can buy a house. But I would love to buy me a nice 2-bedroom house would be nice. Maybe 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Because what I would like to do is I would like to have a gaming slash craft room that I could set my computer up in, set my, or get a laptop to set up in there or whatever, and do all of my YouTube stuff in there, all of my crafting stuff in there, and all my gaming in there in that one room, and make it like just a gaming craft room. And then have a bedroom for me, a spare bedroom that when Paul comes down, he can stay in. And then I have a proper living room. I would love to have a proper living room. You can get some decent ones here for like $150,000. I mean, they're not the best. They're need a little bit of work, but I'm willing to do a little bit of work on the house. I don't mind fixing up a house. I guess the biggest issue with me with the house is all the extra work that's involved that I don't already do, like mowing grass. I would have to get out and mow my own grass, or pay somebody to come do it every week, which gets expensive. Property taxes can get expensive. I mean, it's just, it's all the extras that come with buying a house. Like you have to get a termite bond on it, and those get expensive. I didn't know that until I started working here, that when you buy a house, you have to have a termite bond, which means you got to have a pest control company come out and put a Centricon system around the outside of your house. And then they have to come back once a year and replace the bait, and they charge you like $200 and some every year when they come out and do it. And it costs like $1,500 for them to come out and put its whole system in. And if you buy a house and it's already got Centricon, you've got to contact the pest control company that put them in and have the account moved over to you. Why is it so hot in this apartment? Hold on. That's why. Paul must have changed my thermostat while he was here, because I had it down to 72 and it's up to 75 now. And when it's up to 75, it's hot in here. I hear you, Hank. Meow. 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 What about it? Buddy? What about you, Arya? Huh? Come here. Here, Arya. Come see me. No, you're just gonna lay there and be Arya. Okay. She's laying on the bottom of the cat tree there looking at me like, what do you want? What do you want? Why you bother me? Arya is so cute at night. When it's time for me to go to bed, I get up to go like take my teeth out and put them in the cup and do everything I need to do in the bathroom before bed. And she'll, as soon as I walk in the bathroom and she'll run in there and she'll jump up on the counter and she'll pace back and forth on the front of the counter while I'm trying to do my bathroom stuff before I go to bed. And she'll jump up and put her front paws on my chest and make biscuits on my chest while I'm standing there. And she'll just pace back and forth. And then she'll get up in the one little extra empty hole on the little cubby thing that I've got next to the bathroom sink. And she'll jump up in there and sit there and wait for me to get done. And as soon as I get done and go to the bedroom, she runs in and she beats me in there. She jumps up on the bed, and then she'll pace back and forth on my side of the bed, up and down, pacing back and forth. And Then I lay down in the bed and she just comes and paces back and forth in front of me. Ain't that right, Arya? Huh? Arya. She's like, nope, I ain't gonna even get up and look. Hi, Hank. He's down here on the floor looking at me like, you gonna let me up there? Nope. You got down. Move your meat, lose your seat. Yep. Look, buddy, it ain't time for nothing. You still got 2 hours till it's time for something. Yep. And I ain't gonna say it because then you'll get all excited and start meowing at me and then really be bugging me because I said it and you think it's time early. And it's not. Nope. 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 Yeah, I'm getting hot flashes, Diane. That's it. I'm going through menopause, y'all. Like that episode of South Park where Cartman got his period. I mean, I've heard of male menopause before, but I don't think it involves like hot flashes and all that kind of stuff like women get. Male menopause is more along the lines of like fatigue and failure to be able to well, you just don't have a drive anymore. And that is definitely not the case. I hope I never go through that phase. Hi, Hank. Hi, buddy. Yeah, I know. Daddy loves. Anybody ever told you you are a hindrance to progress? Hmm? Has anybody ever called you that before? Because that's exactly what you are being right now. You're being a hindrance to progress. Oh, he does. He's over here like putting. There he is. He's over here like doing this, doing that. You want to say hi to everybody, Hank? Hmm? Yeah. Well, you're on camera now. You're getting all the attention in the world. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know. I know. Oh, now that you're okay, I see how it is. Hi. You don't want to be on the camera no more? Is that it? Hmm? He is, Diane. He's a mess, though. He's a mess. He's a spoiled little brat. What do you want? Hmm? Is that all you want? Hmm? Okay. Oh, don't sit there. There he is. The king of all he surveys. I see those too. I cannot get Hank to wear clothing at all. I tried. Hold on a second. Let me go grab something. I bought Hank this cute little Top Gun jacket with all the little Top Gun patches from the movie and everything on it. The same one like Maverick wears, and I can't get him to wear it. There it is. He won't wear his Top Gun jacket. Oh, it fits. Yeah, it fits him. I put it on him once, and he's just not a fan. He's not a fan of clothing. He prefers to be in the buff, I guess. I could just get Arya to come up here. Arya. Hey, baby. Come here. I know. How old you are. Baby. Here. You want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi? Come here. Arya. Come here. She's busy sniffing the camera, the tripod. Come here, baby. I know. Yeah, don't swipe at me. Whoa. No, you're going the wrong way. There she is. She's just not even big enough to really show up on the camera. Come here, Arya. Well, she's done. She's like, nope, I'm out of here. Come here, Arya. She's like, nope. The hell did you wake me up for? Ugh. Oh, it probably is, but he just doesn't like putting it on. Like it's like he doesn't like something on him. Like I had a harness and a leash so that I could walk him somewhere. I still got it. I could put a harness and a leash on him, but he does not like wearing that harness. As soon as you put it on him, he just flops on the ground and won't move. Same thing with the jacket. Anytime you put anything on him, he just flops on the ground and lays there and just plays dead. Because I wanted to get Hank one of those cool little costumes where it looks like a pirate or whatever in his front legs, and his head goes through his face goes through where the head is at, so that it looks like a little pirate walking when he's walking around. But he won't wear anything like that, and he performs surgery on you when you attempt to try to put him in things like that. And Hank doesn't use the anesthetic before he performs surgery, so it doesn't feel good. Yes, I've got my Confederate Grim Reaper. And my oldest one, that's my Singing Taz. I got that in 1991. I graduated high school in I graduated high school in May of 91. I left for the Navy in August of 91. Went to boot camp until October. Got out of boot camp, went home for a week or 2 weeks. And then I went to Millington, Tennessee for the next 7 months. I was there, I guess I was there a month or so before my classes started. And I got I got my tattoo somewhere like December of 91, maybe in January of 92. So is when I got my Singing Taz. It was kind of, dude, I'll go get one if you will. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's what we did. My Confederate Reaper was done on Easter Sunday of 2004. And this was done 3 days before the Daytona 500 that Dale died in. Oh, cat tattoos. Yeah, those heal up, and I usually don't get scars from them. He did get me really good right here across. You can kind of see it on this one. He got me right there once really good. And got a couple of marks like right here on my arm. Can't hardly see there, but yeah, he got me there pretty good a couple of times. He's gotten my hands a lot, but those don't usually leave scars too much. I'm trying to find a place now to get an Alabama and a Ravens logo done. I'm trying not trying to find a tattoo place. There's plenty of them. I know where to go for that. But I'm trying to figure out where on me I want to get one done. I don't really want to do my other forearm because that hurt. My Confederate Reaper tattoo, oh my God, that hurt. Oh, that really hurt. That one hurt more than anything I've had. This one on my arm, my Singing Taz, I felt the buzzing from the machine, and I knew she was working because she was pulling the skin tight around my arm, like she was pulling it tight like this, and I could feel the buzzing of the machine, and I could see her doing it. I just didn't feel it. Didn't hurt a bit. Same thing went for this one. I didn't feel it. It didn't hurt a bit. Felt great. But this one here, oh man, especially when he got up around here and got to that section there, I was grabbing onto the chair and keeping myself from standing up and walking away. Yeah, I thought about the back, but see, I never go around anywhere without a shirt on. I never go out and about without a shirt. I don't take my shirt off when I go swimming. I wear an old t-shirt when I go swimming. So having one on my back, nobody would see it. I'd be the only one that would ever know it's there. Hey, Phyllis. So I don't know. I don't know. Good question. But I would love to get an Alabama logo. I'll tell you what, I'll get it done on my forehead. Yeah. Side of my neck. Get a Ravens logo over here and an Alabama logo over here. And then it would be my luck that the Baltimore Ravens would like move from Baltimore and go somewhere else, and then I'd be like, shh, now I got a Ravens tattoo. But, I mean, luckily the Dale Earnhardt one worked out because he died 3 days after I got it. It didn't work out for him, but I mean, it worked out for me because now I've got a lasting memory of a tribute. I didn't get it as a tribute for him, to him. I got it because I liked Dale Earnhardt, and I can't say I'd been a fan of his my entire life. He was my very first favorite race car driver when I was 9 years old, and I went to Talladega when I was 9, and he won. And like until I got older, he was my favorite driver. But then when I got older and Jeff Gordon came into the series, I became a Jeff Gordon fan. Well, actually, I was a Mark Martin fan when I first got back into racing again in like the late '80s, early '90s. I was a Mark Martin fan, and I didn't like Dale Earnhardt then. I booed him on the regular when I went to the races and stuff. I cheered when he broke his car or had a wreck. I was like, yay, Dale Earnhardt's not going to win this one. But then Jeff Gordon came on the scene, and I became a Jeff Gordon fan like instantaneously. Because he was young. He was like, not much older than I was, and he was good, and he was winning. And I was like, yeah, this is the guy I want to pull for now. And but then Dale Jr. came on the scene. And that's when, if you watched a lot of NASCAR then, you saw the side of Dale Earnhardt that you didn't normally see when all those other years. You saw the father side of Dale Earnhardt, and he became more human. And that's when I became a Dale Earnhardt fan. And that was, 1996-ish? So for the last 5-6 years of his life, I was a Dale Earnhardt fan. I even got to meet him once in Memphis when he was there signing autographs for the Chevy dealership. Stood in line 3.5 hours. Luckily, got there after work. I had to go all the way back home. So I worked in Memphis, which was like 45 minutes from the house. So when I found out Dale Earnhardt was going to be at the Chevy dealership signing autographs that afternoon or that evening, I called my wife up and I was like, hey, Dale Earnhardt signing autographs at the Chevy dealership. Would you like to go? And she's like, yes. So we had both the kids, but at that time it was just Wayne and Charity. I think maybe even Joey, but I think we left Joey with her mom or her sister, one or the other. And Wayne and Charity were still really little. They were like 3, 4, and 3, or something like that. And I drove all the way home, picked her and the 2 kids up, drove all the way back to downtown Memphis to the car dealership, found a place to park blocks away, ran over to the dealership pushing strollers, got in line, and as soon as we hopped in line, a guy came out and cut the line off right behind us. So I was literally the last person in line to meet Dale Earnhardt that day. You retracted a message, Diane. No message retraction. Put you in timeout. Hank will come put you in timeout. Hank. Excuse me. Hi. Hi. Never too old for timeout. Hell, timeout now would be a decent welcome break. I'm sorry, I'm not diamond painting, y'all. My brain can't. My brain is doing this thing tonight. It's all over the place. I wish my boss would put me in timeout. I'm like, okay, great, cool. You're gonna pay me to 15 minutes? Half hour? Yeah. because I don't get a lunch break during the day. We're supposed to put down that we took a half hour to an hour of lunch every day, minimum of a half hour. We're supposed to put that in our timesheet that we fill out. I still fill out a timesheet even though I don't get paid by the hour. I still have to fill out a timesheet every day. But we're required to put in that we took a half hour to an hour lunch every day. Doesn't matter if it's an hour before you go home. You got to put a half hour in for lunch every day, at least at minimum. I don't get a lunch break. Like, my day is from the time I get to work, I go in, I take my paperwork in, give it to Ray, which is my service manager. We go over the paperwork. He makes sure I got everything I need. And then I grab today's paperwork, which they printed out the day before, which normally doesn't even have all of the stops on it that I scheduled the night before, after they printed the paper out. So I take that and I put it back in the truck, and I go out to my truck. I fill up a big 25-gallon water tank that I've got in the bed of the pickup, and I fill up my backpack sprayer, which is a 4-gallon Flow Zone backpack sprayer. I fill those up with water. And then I get a hold of Ray, get him to come back, and he makes sure I go through all my chemicals and make sure that I've got all the chemicals I need for the day. And he has to open up the cage that we keep them locked in so I can get chemicals. And then I go and start my day, and usually my first stop is anywhere from 8 o'clock to 9. I like to schedule my first stop usually like 8:30 if it's in town, 9 if it's a little ways out of town, simply to give myself a little bit of time to stop for gas or whatever I need to do in the morning. And then I go start my job, and I start my day, and I'm starting a new, I schedule my stops 45 minutes apart. So it takes me approximately 20 to 30 minutes to do a house, and it gives me 15 minutes drive time to get to the next one. So my day is scheduled every 45 minutes. I've got to stop scheduling. And I could schedule myself in a lunch, but then I wouldn't make the amount of stops that I need to make in a day to be able to finish my route, which doesn't really seem like it's going to matter anyway, because I'm not going to finish my route again this month anyhow, because of all the other bullshit that goes with it. So if the boss was to put me in a timeout, gladly. A bug? Where do you see a bug? How about these things? No, they're not bugs. There's 3 over here. And there's 4 right there. Those are all the little wall hanger things. It's like the little plastic things that you can screw a screw into that you put into drywall if there's no stud there. Where do you see a bug on the wall? There's no bug on the wall. I promise. Well, I would know. I mean, now I'm not going to say, okay, this apartment complex. In fact, my company services this apartment complex. But they only do it on an as-needed basis. It's not they make a regularly weekly visit here, but the tech that has this complex, he does a regular weekly visit here, but it's only on an as-needed basis. Like he doesn't do anything here if there's nothing on the complaint log. But when we moved here, we did have those big American cockroaches, the Americans and Smoky Browns. We had some of those. They fall out of the ceiling vents. Like, I was sitting on the toilet one day and just sitting there on my phone on the toilet doing my thing, and one of them great big American cockroaches fell out of the damn vent on the ceiling, right down by my feet. Those don't bother me because they won't infest your house. They won't get in your cabinets and reproduce and make millions of themselves. Those big ones like that, they're American cockroaches. They live outside in the mulch, pine straw, leaf litter, that kind of thing. And when it gets really hot or really cold outside, they come in. They get in through the cracks in the door or whatever. And all they're in here for is to maintain their body temperature and to get to moisture. They need moisture. Roaches, especially, or those big cockroaches, they need a damp environment or a humid environment because their exoskeleton actually absorbs all of the liquid. They don't drink liquid like we do. Their exoskeleton actually absorbs it, and that's how they hydrate. And they have to stay hydrated. And when it's like 100 some degrees outside, if they come out into the sunlight, they'll be dead in minutes. So that's why they come inside. They're not coming inside to make a home in here because chances are they're not going to live very long anyway once they come in. So we call those occasional invaders, and our outside spray is what normally keeps those out. And if they do come in, you find them dead when you see them. They'll be laying belly up because they had to walk through the stuff on the outside to get inside, and it kills them. Because the stuff we spray is like boba. It's like boba tea. It's like boba tea of death for bugs. The water is just a carrier. So we mix it in water, a certain amount per gallon, and we spray it on the outside in like a barrier around the house. We go 3 feet up the wall, 3 feet out from the wall on the ground. So I'm walking along with my sprayer just doing this, spraying up the wall, spraying out from the wall, and going all the way around. And once it dries, it leaves all the little bobas behind. And they're like kind of stuck to whatever, the grass or the whatever. Those little bobas are stuck there. And what happens, the bug walks on them and pops them and gets the pesticide on its little paws, little feet. And then it grooms itself. And that's what kills it. It's kind of an interesting analogy, like boba tea for bugs. It's the boba tea of death. And so it's completely undetectable to them. See, the old pesticides we used to use, not only were they harmful to us and animals and the environment and everything, but it acted more as a repellent than it did. It would kill bugs if it got on them, but the problem was getting it on the bugs because it was so detectable by them that they wouldn't go near it. So the only bugs you killed were the ones you actually sprayed it directly on, which is why the bug man had to come out once a month and spray all of the baseboards in the house, because then you had a better shot of it actually physically getting on, the most amount of bugs as possible. But now it's undetectable by bugs because the pesticide is actually trapped inside these little micro capsules. I mean, you would need a microscope to see them. They're that small. And so it's undetectable to them, so it doesn't repel them, and they don't even know it's there, and they walk through it, they pop the bubbles, and they get it on themselves, and then they die. It's kind of an interesting scientific thing. And then, of course, the stuff that's inside those bubbles, in large quantities, would be harmful to us and animals and stuff, but inside that microscopic little bubble, there's not enough there to do any damage to us. And even if you got it on you physically on your skin, the worst it's going to do is it's going to feel like a sunburn. Like I get it in my face all the time when I'm doing like mosquito sprays, because we put a little mist and we mist all of the leaves, and it blows back in my face, and it feels like I'm sunburned right around here for several hours after I get it on my face. But one of the houses I go to, they have a little dog, and that dumb dog walks around and licks up every drip that I drip out of my little spray nozzle will drip while I'm walking sometimes. And that dog will go behind me and lick up all the little drips, and the people are like trying to stop him, and he won't stop. And I'm like, well, just so you know, it's not really going to hurt him anyway. And obviously it hasn't, because I go to that house every month and that dog's still alive and well. So what we have is actually harmless to us. I mean, you wouldn't want to drink it, but otherwise it's not going to hurt dogs, cats. It's very dangerous to birds, though. What, Hank? What, Hank? What do you want, buddy? Come on. Where are you, go? You don't care, do you? Yeah, it's about 15 minutes to go, and I'll be done here, Hank. Is there anything in that? Oh, that's empty. I need something to drink. I'll be right back. No, it's not time, buddy. No, it's not time. Whew. He went running to the kitchen with me, meowing the whole way. But he does that anytime I go to the kitchen for anything. He thinks if I'm getting up to go to the kitchen, it must be time for him to have something. Yes, I drink Monster at 10 o'clock at night. That's probably why I'm up at 4 in the morning. Plus, I just lose track of time. Because last night, Paul was out doing Uber, and my son got on Call of Duty at like 9 last night. And then my tier co-leader, see, we're in our clan, we're separated into tiers based on our skill level. So like I'm tier 3. Tier 1 would be like a complete beginner. Okay. And I should have been in tier 1 when I started, but because, I'm Wayne's dad, and because I kind of have enough, I had enough that I could run around and actually shoot and make some kills and stuff. Like I wasn't like a total beginner that needed to be taught where all the controls were and everything. Because I had played for a couple of days before I got into the clan. I played campaign for a couple of days, so I was getting good with the controller and everything. So that when they finally got me in the clan and they ran me through a test run, I was actually able to do something and show that I had some kind of skill and that it was, I was coachable. And they put me in tier 3. And our tier 3 leader, our tier 3 co-leader, his name is Michael, but his game name is Cleve, Cleve. Or It's Cleve, that's his name. But I met him at Briley's birthday party because he's one of Wayne's real life friends. He doesn't live very far away from Wayne, so he goes over to Wayne's a lot. Wayne goes to his house a lot. So I got to meet him back in August at Briley's birthday party. So when he logged in and was like, "Oh, hi, Mr. David," I'm like, "Don't call me Mr. David. Just call me Dave, call me whatever. Just, don't call me Mr. David. I understand you're the same age as Wayne and all, but, no, just Wayne calls me dude. My son calls me dude. Hey, dude, check this out. Yeah. I get along best with people that age anyway, for whatever reason. I get along with friends, my son's friends and stuff, much better most of the time than I do people my own age. And so, I mean, that's just kind of weird because like Paul isn't much older than my son. Paul's like 35. My son's 30. And I get along really well with Paul. My hiking buddy Jordan is like 28 or 29. But it's kind of funny because there's this one kid that was on there playing, and Wayne knew who he was, and they all knew who he was. He's just not old enough to be in the Rebels, but he still plays with us a lot. And he was on there talking, and he's like he knew me, and I'm like, I don't know you. He says, yes, you do. You know who I am. I'm like, no, I don't know who you are. Come to find out, it's this kid. My son and his wife, kind of in a way, adopted my ex-sister-in-law's daughter, Julie. And this kid is about Julie's age. And he kind of was like, they were kind of like a thing for a little while. And, but they've known this kid's, like, Brianna's best friend is his mom. And So he's always at all the Briley's birthday parties, but I just never paid him no mind because he's like 12 years old, you know. And I was like, he's like, you know who I am? I'm like, no, I don't. And then we were talking trash the other night about something. And we were joking. He says, you're old enough to be my grandpa. You could date my grandmother. I'm like, is she hot? He said, well, you know who my grandmother is? I'm like, no, I don't. He's like, she's the one that's got like the curly hair, and her and my mom and me come to Barley's birthday parties. I'm like, oh yeah, I do know who you are. He's like, yeah, you could date my grandmother. I'm like, no, no, no. He says, well, you could date my mom. I'm like, I would. Now he's begging me to date his mom. Sorry, I'm sitting up in the chair instead of sitting back in the chair like I was. Hello, Tiffany. I'm sorry. See, now he's like, he's begging me, date my mom. Yeah, that would be cool. You could date my mom, and we could play Call of Duty all the time. I'm like, oh Lord, no! I started something there I shouldn't have started. Dude, your mom is like the same age as my kid, and I just got out of a relationship like that. Hi, Hank. What, buddy? What? What? What do you want? What do you want? Hmm? Hi. But Tiffany, I do have nice teeth. See? I mean, they aren't real, but they're nice teeth. But you'd be surprised as how many people. And you know, the odd part is when I got the dentures, they let me pick out the shade of my teeth that you put in, and they did have like the Hollywood white teeth that were like bright white. And she said nobody ever picks that, and I'm like, I wouldn't either. It looks fake. Nobody's teeth are that, even brand new teeth. Like if they were real teeth and you kept them as clean as you possibly could, they will never ever be that white naturally. Your teeth will always be an off white anyway. And the fact that I had smoked for 22 years, so what teeth I had left uh, were not white. They were kind of a brownish, yellowish tint to them. And I I didn't want pure white teeth. So I picked a decent off-white shade that was a little bit darker than pure white, but not as dark as what they would be if I'd have smoked for 22 years. It, they look natural though. In fact, I had a lot of people after I got them, and I'd smile. And I'd been in the fire department for like a year and a half, and I had to do something. I had to take my teeth out for something. I can't remember what it was. And one of the girls that was there, she goes, no wonder your smile is so perfect. She goes, I never would have known they were fake until you took them out. So, yeah, I usually don't tell a lot of people that I wear dentures because at first I was always kind of embarrassed that I wore them. And I'd be like, I didn't want to tell people out of kind of an embarrassment thing. But now I really don't care if people know, but I just don't tell them unless they ask. I let them assume that they're just my natural teeth and that I've done a very good job over 50 years of taking care of them. I boop. Boop. Oh, you're going to climb down in my lap now? Is that where you're going to go? Now, see, you get in my lap, and I'm going to pass out. Don't do that. For whatever reason, once Hank climbs down in my lap, I'm like, last night I was up here playing Call of Duty. My son got on around 9, I said, and Cleve got on, and there was 2 or 3 others, and we ran a lot of matches together. And Paul still hadn't come home yet, and they logged off, and they're like, "Well, we gotta go to bed." They all had to get together today. I was kind of upset I didn't get to go. They all met down in Memphis and got together today and hung out, and I was kind of left out because I'm 4 hours away. I told them, y'all are gonna have to plan something, but plan it enough time in advance that I can plan the trip, that I can schedule my day, get to be off early on a Friday, and I can drive up and come visit with y'all. And they're going to do that. So, but yeah, they all got together today. So they kind of went to bed last night and left me on to play. And I ended up running a bunch more matches myself. And then I don't know what time I did, but Wayne climbed up, or not Wayne, Hank climbed up in my lap, and I must have passed out. And I woke up at like 4 o'clock this morning with my controller still in my hand and just passed out like this. My neck was hurting because it was hanging down all night. You know you're a gamer when you pass out with your controller. But look at my controller. Isn't it really cool? Like, got these really cool headset. And I got this really cool purple controller. They didn't have a blue one. I wanted to get a blue one. That's an enhanced controller. I wanted to get a blue one, but they were out of blue, so the closest thing they had was purple, and purple's my second favorite color. But what I really wanted was to match my guitar. I've got this one that changes from blue to purple. The camera isn't picking it up that well, but it color changes from blue to purple as you move it. I've got a lot of things in this house that color change from blue to purple. The same. That's my spare one. That's for my old Xbox. It doesn't have the share button, so I can't take screenshots and stuff with it. Yeah, this here. I've got my color change guitar. It changes from blue to purple. It's a nice guitar too. Paid enough for it. And I've even got some blue to purple color change paint to use on models. And one of my old vape mods, I don't know which one, I can't remember which one, but one of my old vape models actually color changes blue to purple like that, along with my diamond painting tray that I've got here. My newest Firefly one changes from blue to purple. Yeah, I tray. And do I play the guitar? I know 3 chords. I know A, E, and D. And A minor. Okay, I know more than that. I know A, E, D. I can barely remember D minor. I do know A minor, and I do know E minor. So, okay, I know 6 chords. There's a website called justinguitar.com. He's an Australian guitar player, and he does lessons for free. You can donate if you want to donate. And he does have an app that there are certain features you have to pay for to get into, but they're not even necessary. They're just an extra that would maybe help you a little along the way if you need the help. But he teaches you everything from what the parts of the guitar are to how to choose the right thickness of pick for what you plan on doing, what to look for in an amp if you're going to go electric, how to decide whether you want to do acoustic or electric, what type of guitar to buy, what to look for when you're buying one to tell if it's a decent guitar to learn on or not. I mean, he goes through all of that all the way up to starting out with like 3 chords and then adding in 3 more. And every 3 chords he teaches you a list of songs you can play with just those 3 chords. And then 3 more chords and 3 more. And he just keeps building upon that all the way through the beginner series. And he gives you a bunch of exercises to work on to practice and everything else to get to switching easily between all of them and building that muscle memory in. And then he takes you into an advanced course where it teaches you a little bit more about the music theory and what the different scales are, like the pentatonic scale and the Lydian scale and all those things. And he teaches you all of that. And then your advanced courses, like your expert courses, I guess you want to call them, is where he breaks it into genres of music. Like, do you want to play metal? Do you want to play blues? Do you want to play country? Do you want to play jazz? Do you want to play funk? And he teaches you that learning path for that specific genre. And till you're up to where you're playing, songs you hear on the radio. So I've been using his site. I live in an apartment. The only time I'm home is in the evenings and at night, and I have neighbors right on the other side of this wall over here. So playing an electric guitar in here at night, it's kind of a no-go. So I just don't ever have time to practice it. So I went when I won that 150,000 a few years back. I always said I wanted a nice guitar, and that's a really nice Schecter guitar. It cost me right at $1,000. It was an expensive guitar, and it's just a showpiece. I need to start playing it more often. I need to find out what my neighbor's schedule are, because I know she told me at one time they work at night. So maybe I can get away with it. Now I've got upstairs neighbors too, so I don't know. But they're really young, so they may not. I did tell them one night, I hope you don't like mind the noise when I'm like watching the race. When we're watching the game down here, it gets kind of loud. And they're like, "Oh, we don't hear you." I'm like, "Okay." So I might do that. I might come home from work, practice for an hour or two in the evening, and then play games or diamond paint or build a model or cross stitch or whatever. I may have to start doing that. I've got to start scheduling my time better. Like, I've got so many hobbies and interests that I can't fit all of them in at one time. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. All right, y'all. It has been 2 hours and 4 minutes and 59 seconds. So 2 hours and 5 minutes now. So I am going to wrap this up, and I'm going to probably play some Call of Duty. So if any of y'all play Call of Duty, you can always look me up on there. My Activision ID is Rebels Shoreboy, all capital letters, SHOREBOY. Rebels Shoreboy, space in the middle. Look me up on there, Activision, on Call of Duty. I play Modern Warfare 2. I have Modern Warfare 1, but I don't play it much. In fact, I've only logged into it once and just got it to do all of its updates and stuff, but I've never actually played it. And I will be playing Modern Warfare 3 when it comes out. I'm going to pre-order it. I've already got it on pre-order from GameStop, but I just haven't paid for it. I won't pay for it till it comes in and I go pick it up. So, oh yeah, I forgot. My knife does too. My knife is color changed blue to purple. See? It's an awesome pocket knife, by the way, y'all. It's got a little thumb thing there. You just whoop. Yeah. Oh, for sure, Odd. Aria. She turned around to me like, what do you want? Last time he said my name, he come pick me up and disturbed me. All right, y'all. Have a great week. I will see y'all again next week, right here, same time. I can't promise, but I'm going to try to be in a better mood next week. This week was kind of shit. So maybe things will be better. It's Saturday is the last day of the month, so I will have found out rather how much of my route that I actually finished, and it'll be time for a new month. So until then, rock on, y'all. Roll Tide.